Welcome, car lovers. There is a precise moment in the automotive world when a compromise ceases to be a compromise and transforms into a distinct advantage. For decades, the compact crossover segment has been viewed by enthusiasts as the final surrender, the place where driving passion goes to die in favor of grocery runs, school drop-offs, and practical fuel economy. We are told we cannot have it all. We are told that if we want agility, we must sacrifice space, and if we want efficiency, we must sacrifice soul. But every once in a while, a manufacturer looks at these unwritten rules and decides to tear them up. Ford has done exactly that. They have taken the chassis dynamics that made the Fiesta a legend, raised the ride height, injected it with futuristic technology, and created a machine that defies the dreary expectations of its class. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the era of the 2026 Ford Puma and the all-new, fully electric Puma Gen-E. The story of the 2026 Puma is one of evolution and revolution happening simultaneously. While the badge is familiar, the execution has shifted to meet a world that is rapidly changing. This is no longer just a quirky alternative to a hatchback. It is now the main event, Ford's standard-bearer for compact performance and utility in Europe and beyond. The narrative this year is split between two distinct personalities. On one hand, you have the combustion-powered Saint variants, holding the line for mechanical engagement and acoustic feedback. On the other, you have the Gen-E, a vehicle that proves electrification does not have to mean anesthesia. This duality is what makes the 2026 lineup so compelling. It acknowledges that while the destination is electric, the journey there is different for every driver. Visually, the 2026 Puma commands attention in a way that its competitors simply do not. It avoids the boxy, utilitarian aesthetic that plagues the crossover market, opting instead for a silhouette that is fluid, muscular, and distinctly feline. The design team has tightened the lines, giving the car a more aggressive planted stance. The most striking change is found at the front. If you are looking at the Gen-E, the traditional grille is gone, replaced by a smooth aerodynamic shield that improves airflow and gives the car a clean tech-forward face. It is framed by the new claw signature LED daytime running lights, which look sharper and more predatory than before. Move to the Saint line models, and the grille returns with a menacing, wide-mouthed mesh design that feeds air to the intercooler, hinting at the performance potential within. The wheel arches are flared just enough to house the available 19-inch alloy wheels, which fill the corners perfectly and reduce the visual mass of the body. From the side, the coupe-like roofline sweeps back into a raked rear pillar, preserving that sporty profile without aggressively eating into rear headroom. It is a shape that looks fast even when it is standing still, a piece of sculpture that you actually want to look back at as you walk away. Step inside, and the revolution continues. The cabin of the 2026 Puma has been completely reimagined to declutter your driving environment while ramping up the digital capability. Ford calls this a sports car style wrap, a round cockpit, and it feels intimate yet airy. The dashboard is dominated by a horizontal architecture that emphasizes width, housing a massive 12-inch central touchscreen running the latest Sync 4 system. The graphics are crisp, the response times are smartphone fast, and the connectivity is seamless with wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. But the real treat for the enthusiast is the 12.8-inch digital instrument cluster. It sits proudly behind the squared, two-spoke steering wheel, offering customizable layouts that prioritize the data you actually care about: speed, range, and navigation instructions. The materials have seen a significant upgrade, with soft-touch synthetic leathers and premium fabrics specifically curated for the Saint line and titanium trims. And of course, practical magic remains in the form of the MegaBox. This 80-liter storage compartment beneath the boot floor is waterproof and features a drain plug, allowing you to carry tall items like golf clubs upright or rinse off muddy gear without ruining the carpet. It is brilliant engineering that creates space where there shouldn't be any. Let's talk numbers and performance, because this is where the Puma separates itself from being just another pretty face. The headline grabber is the Gen-E. It is powered by a front-mounted electric motor delivering 168 horsepower and a robust 214 pound-feet of torque. Because this is an EV, that torque is instant. There is no waiting for revs to build, no downshift delay, just immediate, linear thrust. It will hit 60 miles per hour from a standstill in flat 8.0 seconds. While that might not sound like supercar territory, the way it delivers that power in city traffic is addictive. The battery is a 43 kilowatt or usable unit, providing a WLTP range of up to 249 miles. It supports 100 kilowatt TDC fast charging, which means you can replenish from 10 to 80% in approximately 23 minutes. It is a powertrain designed for the real world, balancing weight and range to keep the car feeling agile. However, for those who still crave the rhythm of internal combustion, the Puma ST Powershift remains the crown jewel. It utilizes the most potent version of Ford's 1.0-liter EcoBoost mild hybrid 3-cylinder engine. Do not underestimate it based on displacement. This tiny engineering marvel punches out 170 horsepower and 248 Nm of torque, mated to a 7-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. It is a powertrain that rewards you for wringing its neck. The mild hybrid system fills in the torque gaps at low RPMs, while the turbo takes over in the mid-range. The 0 to 60 sprint is dispensed in just 7.4 seconds, and it will push on to a top speed of 130 miles per hour. The shifts are snappy, the engine note has a characteristic 3-cylinder thrum, and the engagement factor is high. But numbers on a page do not tell you how a car feels, and feeling is Ford's secret weapon. The chassis tuning on the 2026 Puma is nothing short of exceptional. Ford engineers have managed to retain the playful, darting character of the Fiesta while accommodating the higher center of gravity of a crossover. The steering is direct, communicative, and perfectly weighted, loading up naturally as you push into a corner. In the Gen-E, the placement of the battery low in the floor lowers the center of gravity even further, making the car feel glued to the tarmac. There is very little body roll, and the front end bites with an eagerness that inspires massive confidence. It doesn't just tolerate corners, it attacks them. The suspension setup is firm, which is a trade-off for that handling prowess, but it is sophisticated enough to round off the sharp edges of potholes and expansion joints. It feels substantial, solid, and incredibly well sorted. Whether you are navigating a tight urban roundabout or flowing through a series of B-road bends, the Puma communicates with you. It is a car that wants to be driven, not just operated. Price is the final piece of the puzzle. Ford has positioned the 2026 Puma to be attainable yet premium. While prices vary by market, you are looking at a starting point of around £26,000 for the entry-level titanium models, climbing up to approximately £35,000 for the fully loaded Gen-E or Saint trims. When you consider the level of technology, the standard safety features like Blue Cruise hands, free driving assistance, and the sheer driving enjoyment packed into this footprint, the value proposition is undeniable. It undercuts many premium rivals, while offering a driving experience that is superior to almost all of them. The 2026 Ford Puma is a triumph of character over conformity. It proves that the transition to electric mobility does not mean we have to leave the joy of driving behind. It proves that a practical family car can still raise your pulse. It is stylish, it is smart, and most importantly, it is fun. Whether you choose the electrons or the petrol, you are getting a machine that was built by people who love cars, for people who love cars. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the new Puma, make sure to smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you never miss a review.